let's go ahead and break down the Cayo Perico heist trailer. There was a lot of little scenes that were only shown for a couple of seconds, so you might not have picked up on a couple of the minor details. So hopefully I can go over all of them for you in this video. Now, the first image we see, we're just gonna sort of go frame by frame, is of a little cove, a little beach on the new island. Now, I'm just gonna record my screen and you can hopefully see where my mouse is, and I'll point out a couple of things. So the first thing, or one of the first things I noticed, was actually this guy down here. It's a security guard. Rockstar in their newswire mentioned social spaces, new social spaces, and everyone's sort of wondering if that means like on this new island or if it just means like in other places. But if there is a security guard, at least on this particular beach, then maybe this isn't a new social space. If this island is one of the most defended islands or whatever they said, in the world, I don't think they'll just let any random person come to their beach. Although there are a decent amount of NPCs here. So it is going to be one of those things we just have to wait to see how it all plays out. The only other thing from this particular image is the fact that you can see part of the other island. The little smaller island, I'm guessing that is in the distance. So this island is going to have its own island. And we can see that pretty clearly in this cleaned up picture of the map from the original teaser yesterday. You can see we have a little island here, another little island there, and there's a couple of little smaller islands off the bottom here. If I zoom in though, that location we just saw could actually almost be in this area. You can see the water does sort of go in, and that little cove we saw could be along one of these areas. Moving along, the next picture, the next scene, next sequence we got was of the actual side of the island. You can see this house, this compound we're going to be heisting is on the side of a cliff, which definitely makes things a little harder. I don't know if we're going to be rock climbing, for instance, but maybe that's one of the new ways to heist this compound. Also, the other thing I'll mention from this picture, because you don't really see a whole bunch else, is the fact that the sun is setting behind it. So we can assume this picture is probably on the left-hand side of Los Santos if this is in free mode. Because if it's not, then you would see Los Santos in the background. But clearly we don't see that in the background here. So that means in this picture, Los Santos would be behind us. Then we just get a look at one of the balconies on the compound. I'm hoping that this might be something we can like play our own one day, because that would be nice to see the sun setting on the ocean from our own property. But apart from that, there's nothing else this picture does show. Then we see our first overview of the island. Now, this isn't the compound part of the island, but there are a couple of interesting things to note here. Number one, a lot of the roads, if not all of the roads, are dirt roads. So don't be expecting giant highways on this island. Also, more farmland over here on the right. A little tower here on the left. Maybe that's something we have to climb up and hack or something like that to disable it. You can see behind the tower, there is what looks to be some sort of building. And actually, there's some smoke here. I don't know if this is like taking place, if this picture is like mid-heist and we've just blown something up, or if it's just always smoking there. But that was an interesting thing I noticed. Also in the back, you do see some more buildings with some more little towers. I think it's a water tower there. And also on the left here, I am noticing there are some more little buildings. So it's not like that compound's the main thing on this island. There are some other little buildings and stuff, although I am sure during the heist, at least, most of these places will be hostile. Like if you go into this freaking little town, I'm sure they'll shoot you on sight. I mean, you can see some of the people up here, but I'm sure the heist won't be easy. If this is going to be in free mode, though, that'll be something to just look out for. Like if only the compound will be hostile, kind of like Fort Zancudo, or if we'll just be able to go wherever we want. The only other thing, and I'm going to be sort of a negative person on this one, is this doesn't look that good, graphically speaking. I don't know if I'm just so used to like PC graphics, but it just does not look good. Like, this is new in 2020, but it looks like a screenshot from like 2014. Granted, yes, GTA 5 is from 2013, but I do hope that the enhanced and expanded version of GTA 5 makes this look a lot better, because this just doesn't look that good at the moment. The next picture we saw was this, and I don't even know what this is. Probably some sort of canopy. I don't know, maybe it's some sort of tower that's crazy looking. Doesn't really tell us anything. Here we have another look at, I guess, that cove we saw from the beginning, this time with no NPCs. You can see, though, there are some chairs and tents here. And I want to go back to that thing Rockstar mentioned of new social spaces. That's the only hint, the only positive reason I could see this being in free mode. This almost has like a fire festival type of vibe. And if this is a new social space, much like the casino was a new social space, then that would make a lot more sense. But considering we don't really see anyone here and that guard was in that first picture, it is just questionable to think that, perhaps. I will say, though, we actually missed this screenshot. This was part of the trailer for like literally a half a second, if that. And we do see a lot more people here. But the only thing, if you look closely at them, is they're pretty much all NPCs. So maybe this is just like an NPC hangout area. It would be kind of disappointing, but if this was a new social space for us to relax in, hang out in, dance in, I think at least showing a couple of player characters in this crowd would have been wanted. Moving along, we get into this picture, which shows us our first look at one of the new vehicles. Granted, it's a vehicle we already have with just a minigun mounted to it, but it is a new vehicle, and I'm sure Rockstar will charge us like $2 million for it. You have some people over here on the left. Apart from that, nothing really new, I guess, in this picture, apart from the fact that it just obviously is the new island. I will point out, though, yet again, they are only showing pictures of this island facing west. It's almost like they don't want to show it off in the other direction, which could indicate that, yes, this is going to be in free mode and Los Santos is like behind us. Also, going back to the boat, I'm guessing one of the aspects of this casino or of this heist will be boat warfare. So for those who want boat warfare, it looks like you're going to get a taste of that in this DLC. And then here we have yet another screenshot of that boat. You can see it from a further point of view. Looks like there's maybe some cocaine or something on it. Again, that mounted gun on it. And again, we're looking west. They don't want to show us what's behind us. Now this is, I think, what we saw in this image over here on the left. You can see that I think there's some water there. I am guessing that is this, because you can see that tower again up here on the right. A couple of minor things. We get our first look at some of the new vehicles, granted from a very far distance, but we do see a new Jeep in the middle of the picture here. And we actually see another Jeep, probably the same one over here on the right behind this crane. So those are just some more vehicles. I am thinking that on this island, at least, we are going to be seeing a lot of like older vehicles, not really any flashy supercars or anything. And like a frame after the one I just showed you, zoomed in, we see a bike, potentially a new bike, could be a dirt bike of some sort. We have a couple of those in the game, but just be on the lookout, we might be getting a new bike as well. Then they show us a plane. This, I'm going to assume, is a new plane. It doesn't look like any of the ones we have in the game at the moment. Although, if I am wrong, I'm sure someone will correct me in the comment section. And that plane is flying over the Bienvenidos a Cayo Perico sign. And yet again, we have a look at that new Jeep. I'll zoom in. It looks like it's a pretty standard looking Jeep, I guess. Hopefully, if it is new and we can buy it, hopefully it has a bunch of customization. Also, yet again, we are looking west because that sun is setting. And then before the trailer cuts out, it flashes through a bunch of screenshots basically Here we have a look at potentially new vehicles apart from those Jeeps, although these could be those same Jeeps. We also have a new sort of transport vehicle, which could be interesting. I am hoping we get a MG mount on the back of these. It looks like it's definitely ripe for one. But I'm guessing these vehicles will probably be the vehicles we see a lot of on this island. Also, does anyone remember this vehicle from, like, well, it's from the Warstock page, but we've always wondered, like, where the heck this vehicle is, because it's not in the game. Maybe this is actually that vehicle we just saw. Just an interesting thing someone did point out. We also have our first look at one of the entrances to the compound. And I will point out, this is like one of the only screenshots that's not looking west. The sun is actually behind us. That's why these shadows are going in front of us. And to make things even more speculative, up here in the top right, I'll zoom in. It kind of looks like there's an island back there, a massive island. Over here, you can see a part of it. And then behind the fence, you can see the outline. It goes down. I'm just saying, the one picture we have looking east, that could be Los Santos back there, which would indicate this possibly is in free mode. So just thought I'd point that out. That's probably the most exciting thing in this whole breakdown. We also get a look at an interior. I'm hoping maybe this is like an interior we can actually own. Got a freaking unicorn up here at the top left. Fireplace. It's a nice looking interior, but we don't know if it's something like we'll eventually be able to own or if it's just an interior of the house. They mentioned a submarine headquarters, and I guess we're gonna have orbital strikes portable now. Missiles active, and I'm assuming this is our player controlling it. I don't think we'll be launching missiles at the freaking base, at the compound, because that would be almost too easy. So I'm guessing this is probably to kill other players. Fun. Although maybe here are those missiles. Maybe it's just missiles to kill boats. Those are some big missiles to kill boats, though. We do have our player, though, looking through the submarine telescope thing. Maybe setting a target for these missiles. This could also be some new clothing. I don't know. I don't really know much about the clothing. If anyone thinks that's new clothing, let us know. Also, potentially a new haircut. I haven't looked at hair in a minute. Just another screenshot of the missile. If this is something we can own, truly, maybe we have some people in here, like the dude that's inside the MOC. Maybe these are some people, some NPCs that are just stashed in here at all times. And then the final thing we got to look at was the submarine. And I will let you guys know, this isn't the same submarine from the Bogdan heist, from the Bogdan, from that Bogdan mission, because you can see very different design. There's no headlights on this one. Also, this fin is at the front and not up here at the back. This is obviously from the Bogdan heist mission. Going back to the submarine from the trailer, you can see it's got the headlights, and also the wing is almost towards the top part rather than up on the front. So this will probably have a new interior. It's not going to be the same one we've already gone over. And then that ends the trailer. They tell us that December 15th is the release date, and down here you're gonna have to have internet to obviously play. But hopefully this video breaks down the trailer and finds some things that you did not notice. I think the biggest thing was the fact that Los Santos was possibly in the background there. Like the one picture they kind of maybe messed up and showed east, Los Santos was back there. So that does get me excited at the possibility that this might be actually in free mode. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. This was a longer video, but again, hopefully it broke down everything. Please drop a like if you did enjoy, subscribe for more GTA content. There'll be a lot more Cayo Perico heist videos over the next couple of weeks, so definitely stay tuned for those. But until then, as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.